In 2001, he got the award for Best Actor. In 2012, National Film Awards Indira Gandhi Golden Lotus Award for Best Producer. In 2013, he got Tamil Nadu State Film Award for Best Male Playback. Music was in his blood, but he always loved to challenge himself. Film always was a great interest for him. So he started directing, producing, and acting. Friends, we are talking about none other than S.P Charan tonight. We are really honored and privileged to have him in tonight's Star Darbar.
Namaskar, namaste, and welcome to your favorite show, Star Darbar. I know that with the introduction, you know already who is here with us. Yes, the director, the producer, the actor, the playback singer himself, S.P Charan, is here tonight to talk to my worldwide viewers about his journey and his story. Welcome to Star Darbar. Namaskar.
Namaste, Andy. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. It is our pleasure and honor that you came here tonight. And we are really excited to talk to you. The first thing we would love to know, because everyone know you as a singer, as an actor, but a lot of you maybe don't know, maybe don't know that he's also a director. Let my viewers know that how that happened, because from a musical family and the direction, that sounds kind of creative though, but how you thought about it that I want to do the direction?
Well, the itch has been there for quite some time, but I've never dared to jump into it. I was more of a producer, wanting to do good scripts and putting them out there on theaters for the audience. But I was looking for a director for this project, and I had approached most of my directors that I had introduced, a la Venkat Prabhu, Samudrakini, and Shakti Saundar, and all of them. But unfortunately, they were all busy. So I just thought that maybe I should just go ahead and try to do it, and this probably might be the project that I would do it. And it is a web series also, so I thought it's a safer platform to work with and learn the ins and outs of direction, and then probably maybe if things go well, and I could even evolve into film direction. So that's how I decided to get into the whole aspect of directing. But I was involving myself in script writing and script doctoring while I was a producer for many years. So I was hands-on production with the script department and working with them one-on-one to figure out the screenplays and stuff.
My goodness, I really cannot believe this. I know that your fans, sir, must be mesmerized now that you are working as a back end and also script writing. Oh my God, that's so creative. Why don't we know a little more about that part? Like script
No,
writing
no,
is not
it's
easy, not easy. It is not easy at all, because to
it
take
definitely
a
isn't
story
easy.
of 2 pages and then put the conversations in it and make it like scene by scene, or I can say maybe a 2-page story can become a 62 scenes. How you do that? I mean, this is amazing.
Uh, well, I have yet to dabble with script writing. I have not dared to do that because there are masters of screenplay writers and script writers. What I do though is doctor them. I am better at doctoring a script than in starting to write a script from scratch. I try not to do that, but why all of this is because, see, it's once you're in the creative industry, you cannot restrict yourself to one aspect of creative industry. Is huge. It's so vast, and once you're part of one aspect of it, like for instance, being a singer and a studio owner in those days, I did the sound design for most of my films. from Chennai 28 to Aranyakandam, and Naniyam and Kungumapum Konjum Puravam. So close to about 5 films I designed sound for. Sound is something that I'm so interested in. So that aspect got me into audio post production and how you produce audio in the background, and then music editing, and then dialogue editing, and all of that. And it's just part and parcel of movie making, and I learned on the job, and making a lot of mistakes, and all of this is because uh, I call myself jack of all and master of none. I poke my nose into a lot of these things, just out of interest, but I do not pursue them per se, because after a while, then I'll feel like I've done that. Okay, let's move on to another thing. If I had probably stuck on to one thing, probably I could have probably been a master at it.
One thing just came in my mind because, as you say, that you worked mostly as a producer. I think that to produce something, you need a lot of courage because there is a winning situation and there is a losing situation. And I know that being a creative person, you always trust in your willpower as well as you trust in your intuition, and as well as I just want to let my viewers know that S.P Charan got the Golden Lotus Award for the best producer actually in 2012, if I'm not mistaken. Please let us know and my viewers know about that time and your favorite moment. I think that you can say that this is one of your great
Yes.
achievements.
Definitely, an award for a movie, especially in a national level, is quite an achievement, because as you know, Indian industry is the second biggest industry in the world,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
the number of movies that are produced are overwhelming, second to only Hollywood, and to be selected as one of the best films and the best producer of that particular year is quite an achievement. And that particular film Aranyakandam was truly a struggle for me to get it out, from pre-production to final release, theatrical release. There were huge issues with that, from the time of narration to approval, green lighting the script. My whole team was against it, but I wanted to do it, and it was a 2 year process in production, and a lot of back and forth between the director and myself, a lot of rework on the scripts and all of that, and eventually coming back to theaters, it wasn't received well with the audience, because my only how I console myself is that I was too ahead of my times with the film called Arnyakandam, which actually started a trend of so-called independent scripts. I wouldn't call them independent cinema, because they were all produced by big production houses, and they had major theatrical releases and stars in them. But I would call them independent scripts, and fresh directors, debut directors coming into the industry with scripts like this. And I'm proud to say that Aranyakandam belled the cat. Actually, Chennai 28 belled the cat with alternative cinema in commercial platform. But the best part of receiving that award was a couple of years before, my dad had received the Padma Bhushan. And we were all at the ceremony then. And after the ceremony, my dad had, I don't know if he meant it or what, but he said that I would like to see you there receiving one of these. And lo and behold, within 2 years, I received the Padma Swarna Kamal for Best Producer for Aranyakandam. And I had actually taken my parents to the ceremony, and a very proud moment for me and for my entire family.
Can't really believe this. This is amazing. This is amazing. I mean, you have no idea that how many people you are really motivating towards this, because, in our mind, like whoever are the creative people out there, they're very emotional, and they really do not care about success or victory or anything. They just want to create. They just want to have a platform where they can share their work or talk to somebody who is creative, and the mental level that really matches together. Now, the point about this is that when you are doing this production, what was the challenges? I mean, I just want to know this, because as a producer, because we see so many things are going on. So what are the real challenges that you face all the time?
Okay, so in a film production, challenges are multifold. But when you're doing a film with a so-called big star, a box office puller, everything works seamlessly. The entire crew, the cast, and the back end team are all in sync, or all on the same page on the day to day goings on. But unfortunately, when it comes to a small budget film, which is quite aspirational and ambitious, like say a Chennai 28 or an Arnya Kandam, they are multifold. Um, for instance, like say we are working with debut directors who kind of half baked in knowing the process of filmmaking, and then you have a a debut cast who needs training, and script papers given before, and the reading sessions and the rehearsals, and on location, being on time, getting the locations together and all of that. And so it's quite taxing for a small budget film to work seamlessly. uh, as far as Aranekandam was concerned, uh, we had started the pre-production when we finished Chennai 28. That was uh, 2007. But what I had unfortunately happened that I had committed multiple films at the time to produce, and Chennai 28 became a hit in 2008, and we started, doing the publicity for the success of Chennai 28, and that took us for like another 4 5 months, and then came other films, and those productions had started immediately. And Aranyakandam, by the time we could finalize the cast and the locations and all of that, took us a while. And eventually, we had shot that film in multiple formats: 35 millimeter, Super 35, Super 16, and the dates of artists became an issue, because we had casted Jackie Shroff. Jackie Shroff sir was in Mumbai, and we had issues with locations, because we were not, because I was in multiple productions at that time, and I was driving and flying in and out of multiple cities, and handling 3 productions at the same time. And but we were trying to, I mean, every production was going on their own, so I had a team working. But unfortunately for Aranikandam, what had happened was the cast was very raw. We had planned for a few songs. We started shooting for one particular song where the cast was really bad at the dance items and all of that. And I was okay with the fact that those actors were not professional dancers, because the characters wanted that. The characters required them not to be professional dancers. It needed to be crude and raw and all of that. And I had conveyed that to the choreographer, and we were on the same page. But the director was not convinced with the performance of these actors as far as the song was concerned. And we had shot for 3 days and spent loads of money, and then it didn't work out. And then I had to scrap the song completely from the production. And so, they might sound quite minuscule at that particular moment, but they all add up to the cost of the film. And the production itself took us like, a year to complete. And then at least like 8 months just to edit. I'm talking about a scratch edit for or dubbing ADR, and those things took us. We had like 18 versions of the movie going in for ADR, and I needed to put my foot down and say, you know what, this is the version that's going to go, and then we would start dubbing for it, and then eventually the director would come back with another version and say that this is probably better than that. So it was like a relentless pursuit on behalf of the director for perfection, and I had to eventually convince him to say, you know what, we need to compromise somewhere for this project to come out. So what started off like a 2 crore budget film had become like 5 crore budget, and the release got delayed, and then the content was so spicy that the censor boards here in Chennai had uh, actually rejected the project, and we had to file for tribunal, and we filed once, and once it got screened at the tribunal, the judge got transferred, and then a new judge came in, and then we had to wait for another 6 months for them to watch our film again, and then we finally got it, and then eventually we got the certificate that we wanted. We wanted an A certificate, we fought for it, and we got it. And so that process exactly took us an entire year, and then came in the New York Film Festival, and we thought, why don't we premiere it there? And we went there, we premiered there, and it was the best movie of the festival. And all the struggle for this 2.5 years or 3 years had just vanished when we won the award there in New York. And then the theatrical had come in, and once we tried to release the film, as I said before, it didn't fare well at the box office because it was people were not ready to receive such content. But then there is a huge demand for it right now, but unfortunately we're not able to release a film because the digital rights have been given up to somebody, and then I'm trying to do that in Telugu right now, and hopefully sooner it'll be out on one of the OTT platforms.
That is amazing. I know that like the whole team for any creativity, they go with lots of different experiences, and as you have explained it, oh my goodness, so many struggle, but then seriously when you get the award and people started watching it, yes, that is the victory, that is the real success, even though
True that.
you feel like that you were totally like, okay, I'm done, I'm good, but then again that inspiration from all of us viewers will give you another, actually I can say, another motto to start again something new. And I love this idea that you are going with the fresh directors or the actors and the script writers, or so this is really a great thing that you are doing for our upcoming generation. And also you are inspiring so many creative minds. My goodness, salute to you. Really great work. Oh my God.
Let me just say something very pragmatic about that process.
Yeah, yeah, please.
It's not like I'm doing any kind of a social service here, or I want to inspire the next generation of filmmakers or any of that sort. You get the best of scripts from fresh minds who want to become directors. And the second aspect of it is the budgets. The budgets are smaller with younger directors, and their scripts, we don't need to cater to stars. So we can actually get some fresh faces and actors who are again aspirational and who want to break into the industry. And once that culmination happens, the creativity just goes crazy. Yeah, it does take up quite a bit of an effort to get these people into the page, and teaching the new directors the production process, and the new actors the acting process, marrying them all together and putting the whole entire project. That is a brilliant part of it. Just going up to a director, a seasoned director, giving him some money. We don't know what is going to happen. We don't know what script he has in mind. I do not have any control over the script. And then he would confirm a a star actor, and I just had to go and pay him, and I would just end up being just a broker for all of these people, rather than, my creativity, putting my thought into the project, getting people together, and designing a project and putting that out there. And I feel is a producer's job, not just sitting back and just paying the director and all of these people. Oh, we need this much money, we need this much money, we need this much money, and then just keep paying all of these people. Does not make a producer. A producer needs to be hands on from scratch. Once you buy the stationery for the particular script, to the bound script and the censor script. So that is a producer, is what I personally feel.
Thank you so much for your insight. This is really lovely. But friends, you know what? We just touched two of his likings. Now the third part is this man himself acted as well. Yes, yes, yes. And that's the best part, because when you know the back, it's not easy to act though. But somewhere I heard that in my everyday life, we are acting all the time. We don't know that we're acting, but we are acting. So I want to just visualize this part a little bit. If you can explain that, well, fine, production is there, direction is there. What motivated you that, okay, let me change a little bit and start acting? How was that?
like I said, uh, jack of all, master at none. And also how acting had happened for me was that I was in a crossroads at a part of my life. I came from US with a degree. I was thinking of what to do with the degree that I had from US. The eventual idea was to set up a production house. That was for sure. But during that aspect, I had the opportunity to dabble with singing, and and I got launched by none other than the greatest of the greats, Ilaiyaraaja sir, and and I had sang about 8 songs for him, and I thought, okay, I have arrived, and my career is going to go places and all of that, and then that was in '96, around 4 years down the line, or 2.5 years down the line of singing, and then everything suddenly just uh, vanishes. I gave a big hit in Tamil, and then I thought, okay, this song is a hit, and from here on forth, we are not looking back, and then we are going ahead with singing and all of that kind of stuff. And suddenly, there was just no calls from any of the music directors for singing, and uh, I had a family then, and I need to take care of them, and the depression was in play, and the whole, the human emotions were completely on me then. And suddenly there was a call from a production house called Kavitalaya. Kavitalaya is helmed by the greatest Sri K. Balachandra sir. He was producing a television series at the time, and they were looking for some fresh faces, and that person needed to be a singer. And they had called me and asked me for an audition, and I said, I am there. Let me know when it is. And then I went and I got the gig, and I started working in television serials. And as I was working on television serials, is when I met my first director, Samudrakani, and he started narrating scripts to me. Our time pass between shots was like he would come and sit with me and talk to me about scripts. And one particular script is what I liked, and we that took off, and that became my first ever production, Unnai Chalnadinde. So that's how my acting started. And like I had mentioned before, creative industry is, you cannot restrict yourself to one particular thing. If you are a producer, you dabble with, like I said, screenplay, script, and when the artists are coming in, what they're acting, and once you keep seeing so many actors from behind a monitor, and you realize what they're doing wrong, and then in yourself you realize that I could have done this better. I probably would have done it this way. And then instead of going directly to the actor, nibble at the director's ear and say, what, why don't you ask him to do it a little better? Why don't you ask him to do it this way? And how about that way and all of that? There comes the direction bit. And then you're critiquing the acting, and then you're correcting the actor as well. So there is an actor in you, and the direction part is also coming in that way. And whenever opportunities came my way, then I just decided to not say no. uh, it's a challenge, facing a camera, like say after a year or like 3 months later, and when you're not in all of these great stars and actors, what they do is like they're project after project after project. So they're in the zone, and when whatever character it is, you just need to take the shirt off, put another shirt on, and they're on in that particular character. Whereas somebody, a part-time actor like me, would be like, between projects they would be like 3 months, 6 months, a year, or 2 years, or 3 years. And then getting back day one would be like complete nerve wracking. You have multiple cast stars and actors in front of you, and then you need to perform, and you cannot take multiple takes. You need to know the dialogues. So it was quite a challenge. But then, I wanted that challenge. You get a rush after, the director says, that shot was perfect. And when that happens, you're like euphoric. Yes, we've done something good. And then when you look at yourself on screen, so the acting aspect happened because I was at a point in life where I needed to do something to survive. And then, I worked on myself to get better at it. And I never worked on my body. I didn't want to be an actor, like a star or a hero or something like that. I was more than happy with doing like character roles. And that gave me more of a canvas to uh, present myself, rather than limiting myself to one particular genre, or, like I say, if I may say, a suit. I wear multiple hats. And so acting is quite challenging. It's part of singing as well. Whereas when you're singing for a particular song, you're singing for somebody else, and there's a lot of expression in front of a microphone. It's quite exaggerated in front of a microphone. Whereas in front of a camera, you don't need to be that exaggerated. You just be mellow and try to think about what Charan as a singer would do in a particular situation, and then put that out in front of the camera.
Oh my goodness. Um, I don't know. My words are lost. Just by talking to you, I am learning so much. I really cannot tell you, because we still haven't gone to the part where we are going to talk about your singing. So, friends, now you have known that how creative mind works, isn't that? Yes. From a producer to a director to an actor, such a huge journey. Story, actually, I can say that this person itself, himself, a story, a storyboard, I can say, where maybe we cannot read or see everything through the eyes of his, or maybe we cannot read his mind. But yes, this is such a fantastic time we all had in Star Darbar. But hey, do not go anywhere, because we're going to be back again with him to meet the musician, the playback singer, S.P Charan, one more time. So I hope you are doing fantastic. Please do subscribe in our YouTube channel and love our Facebook page and share your favorite shows worldwide. Thank you so much. You all have a fantastic night. See you again next week, Star Darbar, same time, same day with S.P Charan.